So Python is a general purpose language. What does that mean? That means that Python can be used for multiple things, right? It can be used for web development. It can be used for data analytics, engineering, data science. You can develop games. You can do web scraping. You can do machine learning, and a lot of other things you can do. Anything you can think about coding or in the IT world, you think anything, almost everything can be done in Python. Okay. And that is the reason it is called a general purpose language. Okay. Now in our module one, what we will learn that everyone has to learn, no matter in what stream you are learning Python, right? Machine learning, web scraping, anything. The first module is very basic thing that you have to get started with Python. Okay. So if you learn that, after that, you can take up any other course as well. For example, if you want to do data science, you want to do, gaming, web scraping, you can do that because those are the basics, how to run basic programs in Python. Okay. So that will be our module one. Module two is also for everything. We will see how to write functions, right? So, in general, we write lot of lines of code, right? And there are a lot of code that we have to reuse. And for efficiency also, it is good to write programs in a functional way. So in the module 2, we will see how we can make use of functional programming, how we can write functions. Okay. In this module, we will do a lot of practice also. Like in interviews, a lot of questions are asked. Can you write a program to do this? Can you write a function to do this? So that will also be covered in module 2. So these module 2 are generic module. Everyone has to learn, no matter in which stream you are writing Python. Now, the third module will be specific to data analytics, right? We will see how we can manipulate data. We can work with tabular data, right? How to filter data, aggregate data, like whatever you do in SQL or other, other programming languages. So we will focus on NumPy and Pandas, and especially on Pandas because Pandas are very, very powerful. And if you are in data analytics domain or data engineering or data science or machine learning, you will be using a lot of Pandas. 70% of your code will be in Pandas because Pandas can be used to clean the data, filter the data, aggregate data, and Pandas can be used to build visualization within Python. So we will spend a good amount of time on Pandas. We will deep dive in Pandas, and a lot of things we will learn in that module. So module 3 is going to be very, very important for all of us. Module 4 for our ETL friends, but I would suggest that everyone should participate in that module, even if you are a data analyst or aspiring to be data analyst. I think you can go for module 4 as well. Okay, where we will learn the basics of ETL, extract, transform, load, how to build tables, how to build dimension tables, how to build fact tables. We will do some projects as well. We will do projects for module 3, module 2, and module 4 as well. Okay. And then we will have in the last, we will have a project as well. Okay. Also, during all the classes, maybe not in first week, but week 2 onwards, we will have assignments as well. So after every class on the portal itself, you will see the assignments. So before the next class, it will be great if you attempt those assignments. And later, after 2-3 days, I will also upload the solutions so that you can check. And if you have any doubts, we will have whenever required, we will have doubt session on weekends. Maybe if not first weekend, maybe second weekend. Whenever we feel we have covered some topics, we can have a doubt session also on the weekend. Another thing is today I'm saying that this course will run for 5 weeks or 6 weeks and whatever, but it is okay. Even if we take more time, it is okay. It is not hard and fast that I'm going to take 12 classes or 14 classes. If it is going to be more, if I think we have to take extra 1 or 2 classes, we'll take. That is absolutely fine. Another important point is I see a lot of people don't join live classes, right? So you have enrolled for a live course. So if you see today, we have 142 participants, but there are more participants. There are more than 300 participants who have enrolled, but people will not join. Maybe it is morning or whatever reason. But because if you have, enrolled for live classes, so make sure you join the classes because the advantage is you can ask your doubt straightforward, right? Otherwise, there's no point of taking live classes. You could have taken a recorded course, right? So make use of live classes. You are paying extra for live classes. So make full use of it. Okay. One more thing I want to tell is, so we have a lot of participants, right? They are from different background. Someone has never done any coding. Someone is from data data analytics background where they have done only SQL or Tableau, Power BI, and they have never done coding. Some of you might have done coding before, right? So there are different kinds of people. So we have to accommodate for everyone. Okay. So we will start slow so that everyone get used to it. Everyone get used to the Python, how the program runs. Someone who has never written any line of code, it will be difficult if we run fast. So we will go slow, and slowly we will pick up the pace. Okay. So maybe first 2, 3 class will be slow. And once we understand how it works, how's the console, we get comfortable, we can pick up the pace always. But if you feel that it is very slow, just have some patience. Just consider we have a lot of participants which are from non-technical or non-coding background. Okay. Another thing is, if possible, keep your phone on silent or keep it in another room, because we got a lot of distraction, WhatsApp message, Facebook notification, LinkedIn notification, Instagram, and you will not be able to focus, right? You just have to focus for next 14-15 classes, right? 1.5 hour, and you will learn a Python, a new programming language. So focus, very important. Otherwise you will end up again spend time in watching recording to understand the concept. So you will spend 1.5 hour now, and if you don't focus, then you will later watch the recordings again and again. You will recordings will be there. It is okay to watch again if you have not understood. But if you are not focusing on the live sessions, then you are unnecessarily wasting your time, right? You will again watch the videos and understand the concepts. So make sure you focus during these 1.5 hours. It will be good for you and good for everyone else as well. Okay, great. So with that, let's start Python. What I will do is, I hope all of you have installed Python. If you have not installed, if you go to the day one folder, it is okay. If you have not installed, you can install today or tomorrow also, you have time, but I'm just going through it. Okay. So these are the steps that you have to follow, right? You have to install Python. I have given the links for Python, how to install on Windows and how to install on Mac. Okay. You can just follow these steps. It is very easy and very quick. And then now, once you install Python, okay, so let me open the command line. Okay, so this is my command prompt. Mine is Windows machine. Okay, so if I just type Python, the Python console will start. If you see these three signs, right, 3 arrows. So this is the Python console, right? We can write our programs here as well. Absolutely fine. So for example, if I have to run a print statement normal in Python, I have to say print Namaste Python. Okay. So it is working fine. I'm able to do Namaste Python, right? But if you see, I have to write one line and then next line and then next line. But in reality, we will be, writing multiple lines of code and running them together. And it is interface is not so friendly, right? It is command line interface, right? So we need some ID, right? ID, there are multiple IDs, right? So we have PyCharm that we will be using in the session. We will at later point we will use Jupyter Notebook as well. Okay. But there are other Spider and lot of other IDs. If you are working already on some ID and you are comfortable with it, you can just use it, or you can use PyCharm. Okay. So you just have to go to this link and choose if it is for Windows or Mac, and you can just install PyCharm. Okay. Once you install and open it, it will look like something like this. Okay. Let me hide this. Okay. It will look something like this. You can just go file, create new project. So I will create a new project. It will ask you on what location you want to create the project. So you can choose any location. Okay. And give the project name. So I will say Namaste Python. So this is my project, right? Now here it will ask you base interpreter. So when you install Python, this is the path where your Python file will be there, python.exe file. This is where you would have installed it. If you have multiple versions of Python, it will be shown here. In my system, there is only one version, 3.11. So it is showing this. So it will be using this Python installation to run the programs, right? If you want, you can change it if you have multiple installations in your system. Okay. Now this is a welcome script. If you want to create a main.py file, you can create. Otherwise, you can uncheck it or check it. Anything. It will just create one dummy file for you. You can just skip it and create. Okay. It is asking you want to create in this window or new window. I'm just saying this window. So it will just take a couple of seconds and it will create a new project. Okay. So this is a new project created and you go here, file and say new file. What happened? Project, right click, new file, and let's say hello world. Okay, so it created a hello world file, right? Let me create a Python file. So if I go again here, I can choose Python file. I will just close this. And if you click on the folder, we created this folder, right? Namaste Python, right click, new, and say Python file. Okay, so you can give of name of this file. So I will say hello world or my first program. Anything you can type and say Python file. Okay, so if you see, this Python file is created within this folder, the Namaste folder. Namaste Python is the project, and within this is my file. And the file name is my first program.py. Okay, so this is how the interface looks like. PyChar. Okay, you have the projects. All the projects will be listed here, and within each project, you can create multiple files. You can put it here, and this is where you will write your program. Okay, so likewise in the command prompt, we wrote print, right? Our first program, print Namaste Python. Let's write the same thing here. I will say print. So print, and within double quotes, I will type the string that I want to print. Hello world. Okay. Now, if I have to run this program, there is this icon you see on the top, run. Okay. So you can say run this program. And this is your console on the bottom. Okay. So it is printing hello world. Right. So this is how you write your first program. Right. Now you can write multiple print statements. So you can write print. This is Ankit. Print. I work for Amazon. Right. So if I do this and I just run this program, all the lines will be printed. You see, hello world, this is Ankit, I work for Amazon, right? Also in Python, you can write your strings, right? This is a string, right? I work for Amazon. You can write in single quotes or double quotes, both works here. So even if you give single quotes, it works, right? So there is no issue here. Okay, so you can give double quotes or you can give single quotes as well, right? Now let's say you have a long line to write. So let's say something. Say hello world. I am from Bangalore, and it's a long line, and you think that this doesn't look good, right? So what you can do if you want to go to the next line, right? So what you can do, you can just go to the next line like this. This is okay. Okay. So if you see it is giving error because we are going to the next line and it is giving me error, right? Missing quotes. It is expecting that here there should be some quotes. What I can do, I can just this backward slash I can put. If I put this backward slash, it will think that this is a one line full, right? So if there are multiple lines, instead of writing a long line, you can just put this backward slash and write multiple lines. For example, I can write one more. So this and this is Python class. Okay. Okay. So now I have run 3 lines, and if I run this, if you see, it is coming as 1 line only.
Ankit, we can use the triple double quotes or single quotes as well, right? For multi-line.
Triple double quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. This also works, right? No, it is giving me error. Let's see. No, it is giving me error.
Starting we should have triple double quotes.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So you can have like this and then like this and remove it. This also works. Yeah. Yeah, this also works. So you can give like this. So, but here what is happening is it is going into the new line, right? If you see. So this is a new line. This is the first line, second line, third line. In the earlier one, it was all one line, right? So that is the difference. I run this. So this is a one line. But anyway, it is fine. Okay. So if you want to introduce a new line character, so there is this new line character. So for example, I want to introduce a new line here. So I can say this, right? And if I run this, if you see, after this is a new line has come. Okay. So this slash n is a new line character. So if you want to introduce a new line, you can just put slash n in between and it will work. Okay. So this is all about print statement. So print is a function which expects a string. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to work with lot of data, right? String data, numbers data, dates, Boolean, lot of other data we will be working, right? Now, there is a concept of variable in Python, right? Where you can store these value in a variable. Okay. So how do you define a variable? So you just say, let's say my variable name is A. Okay. I will say A equal to, and I will put some string here. Let's say Bangalore. Okay. Again, you can put in single quotes or double quotes. Anything is fine. Okay. Let me use double quotes throughout the session for consistency. Okay. So this is your variable. So when I say A equal to Bangalore, what is happening is this string, okay, the value of this string is going into A, and A is a variable. So now if I do print A, okay, it will print Bangalore. Let's do it. I'll just run this. Okay. So if you say Bangalore is printed, right? So what happens is this A is a variable. A is a variable, and what is the data type of A? So in Python, we have 3 different kinds of data types. We have strings, we have numbers, right? We have floating numbers as well, and we have Boolean, right? These are the main data types in Python. Data structures is different, but when it comes to data types, we have 3 kinds of data types: strings, number, floating, and Boolean. Now in other programming language, if you have done, in other programming languages, you have to define the data type of a variable. When you are declaring a variable, you have to tell if it is going to be integer or a string or floating point number. But in Python, it is not like that. You can just assign the value. You don't have to declare it separately. You can just assign the value, right? A equal to Bangalore, and it will decide what should be the data type of A. Okay. So if I have to check what is the data type of A, I can just say type. So type will tell me what is the data type of A. So I have to say type A. Okay. And I will print it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to print the type of A. What is the data type of variable A? Okay. So, right. It is saying class str. It is of class string. Now, what is class? So in Python, everything that you create is object. So A is an object of class string. In the later part of course, we will understand what is class and object. But for now, what you have to understand is the data type of A is string, right? Now let's say I assign A equal to 2, right, in the same variable. Now let's run this again. So if you see, it is saying int. So A is of class int. A is an object of class int. Again, if you don't understand this object class, it is fine at this point of time. We will discuss later. But what you have to understand at this point is whenever you declare a variable, whenever you create a variable, you don't have to declare it separately. You just assign the value and Python will decide that what should be the data type of this, right? So first we said A equal to Bangalore. So it was from string and now it is 2. So it is a integer class. If I give 2.1, it is a float class, right? As we discussed, we have a string class, we have a string data type, we have integer data type, we have float data type.
What will happen if we pass a date?
So there is no separate date data type. So if I do, so I have to give in single quotes, right? 2023, let's say 0202, right? So this will be taken as a string only. So if I run this, it will say string only. Okay, so there are different modules we will cover later how to work with dates. But for now, we don't have a date data type as such in Python. Okay, we have strings, int, boolean, and floating point number. Okay, we will come to boolean as well in the later point of time.
So Ankit, sometimes we face issues like we have to explicitly convert a date which is in a string format to a date format to get our results. So won't it create any problems here in Python?
No. There are different ways. Don't compare it with the SQL. It is a different ways of handling dates here. There are different modules to work with date, and we will discuss it later.
Okay.
In the sessions. Yeah. So far, any doubt?
Yeah, one question. Like when I'm selecting and running the code, it is running my previous code also, not particular line.
Okay, you want to run particular line, right? Only let's say this much. Okay, so there are different ways. You can right click and say execute selection, right? So it will run only the selected code.
Okay, any shortcut like?
Yeah, there are shortcuts as well. 1 second.
Control Shift plus F10, I think.
Yeah.
Like we need to select and then.
So if you right click, run. Why it is going down? Okay, for some reason it is going down, but you can just select it. And then there is a shortcut also. Someone was telling, right?
Alt Shift E.
Alt Shift E. You can do Alt Shift E as well.
Okay.
So there are different ways. I can just check more ways, or you can just Google, right? Should be fine. And also, like you can have multiple files, right? So I have put as current file, but if there are multiple file, it will show multiple files here, and you can choose which file you want to run, right? But that's fine. We will see it later. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
While using the backslash, it gives a tab space, right?
No. So what is happening after backslash? We are entering a new line, right? So I run this. Yeah, it is entering a tab. Yeah. I think this is a tab. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And if you want to comment any specific line, then how can we comment?
Hash.
Yeah. So this is, I'll just come to that. So there were spaces actually. So I removed all the spaces. Now it is fine. There is no tab. I work for Amazon. Here I was like giving like this, right? So this is considered as the space. So if I remove this, it is all fine.
Yeah,
Okay, if you want to comment,
when we go
yeah.
to the next line, obviously the indentation comes, right, Ankit?
Yeah, by default indentation comes, but you can remove it.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, if you want to comment a code, just hash will work. Just give a hash and it will be commented.
So I could hear this backward slash what it is used for then.
This backward slash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a long line, let's say, right, and you don't want to write a long line here, so you want to line a multiple lines, so you can just skip backslash, right? If I don't give it, it will give me error, right? Because it is expecting that single quote should end like this, right? It is just for convenience. Instead of writing a long line, you can split in multiple lines so that it look good.
If there are multiple lines of comments, then how to comment it actually instead of
Yeah, multiple lines also we can comment. So there should be some option.
Control plus question mark.
Control plus question mark.
Hash starting and ending. Okay.
That also we can do, but there is a shortcut as well actually. No, this doesn't work.
Triple hashtag.
triple quotes.
Yeah.
Control and forward slash.
No, it's triple quotes.
Triple quotes you are saying. Okay.
Control and forward
Yeah.
slash also works.
Yeah, triple quotes works. Yeah, so there are different ways again to comment code, but you can use triple quotes as well. So anything in between these triple quotes is commented.
Control and forward slash directly works. Direct selects and control and select.
Sorry, control.
And forward slash. Just select and control and forward.
Yeah, this is better, I think. So you can select the lines, whatever you want to comment, and control.
And
Forward
comment is as well.
It will comment everything. Okay. 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 Fine. Let's move. Let's move on. So what we understood is we can see the data type by using type operator, type function. The type A, it will give you data type of whatever is the data type of this variable A. Okay. Now let's understand how string works. So we will start with string. Okay. Strings. Okay. So how strings works? So let me again define a string. City equal to Bangalore. Okay. So now what happens is in Python, it stores this string, all the characters in it stores the index also. So when I say Bangalore, okay, the Bangalore, the B is at index 0. So in Python, the index starts from 0. So this is 0. This is index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So the 0th index is B. First index is A. And so on. 8th index is E. Right. So Python stores the index value of your string. Right. So if you want to see the particular index value, you can just say city, right, and say 0. What it will do, it will print the 0th index of city. Okay, so let me do it. So if you see, it is printing B, isn't it? Because 0th index is B. If I say 5, what will be the output?
0 to 4. B to G.
If I just say city 4,
G.
it starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will print A. Right? It is printing A. Okay. So remember, it starts from 0 always. Okay. You can even do the reverse indexing. Right? So it also stores the reverse index, which means this is -1, -2, -3, right? So if I say -1, okay, so it will print E, right? So you can start from the last, and it is not from 0. So starting is from 0, but if you are coming from reverse negative indexing, then it starts from -1. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on. Okay. Now, if I say city 10, what will happen?
B last index.
I'm just saying city 10. It is not negative.
Oh, sorry. E, I think.
Nothing
Out
will
Zero,
of
one,
index,
two, three, four,
Null.
five, six,
Here
seven,
will
eight.
come. Will print
Out of range.
out of range.
It will come out of. See, string index out of range. So you can give maximum up to whatever is the length. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Till 8 we can give. If I give anything outside 8, it will give me an error. That it is out of range. Okay. Now this is selection of particular character, right? But we can do slicing as well. So what I want, I will say I want from 0 to 4. So I will say 0:4. Okay. Now it will start from 0. So we will get B, then 1, 2, 3. It doesn't take the fourth index, right? So whatever index you are ending with, it doesn't take this one. It will take from 0 to 3. So B, A, and G will be printed.
N
Yes.
-1.
Right? So the last index that you give in the range, that will not be printed. It will be printed till the previous one. So it will be printed till 0 till 3.
Ankit, any length function to gather the number of strings?
Yeah. So we have a len function and city. If I just say and print it, it will give me the length of string.
So
If it's
Ankit, I have
9.
one question. Like city 0, column 4. So 4 is not the index. It is the length, right?
4 is index.
So if 4 is index, then it should print A,
No.
right?
No, it works like that. It doesn't print the last one.
It is excluded. The means the upper bound is excluded.
It is N -1.
Yeah. So this is your lower bound. You can say this is upper bound, and it will be upper bound -1. So for example, I can
so
do
if you have
2
to-
to 4. If I did 2 to 4, if it is, so it will print 2 and 3 only. It is not going to print 4 characters. It is just print 2 to 4. So let's run this. So 2 to 3 it will print. 4 it will not print. So see, N and G is only coming.
So now
So
if you have
0,
to
1,
print,
2, 2, 3, 4 will not be printed.
so if you have to print Bangalore, now 0 to 10 would make sense, right?
0 to 9 will make sense.
0 to 9, right?
0 colon.
Yeah, same 0 to 0 colon 9. Yeah.
0 colon. 0 colon would also find, right, Ankit?
Yeah, I'm coming to it. I'll explain all of those. Okay. Now, what also you can do is if you skip one index, you just say, let's say if I give 4 to 9, so what will happen? It will print from fourth character, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It prints from A, right? Now, if you don't give first index, you just give nothing :9. So it means it will start from the start. Okay. Because I'm not giving anything, it will just start from the 0 index. So it is giving me Bangalore. Similarly, I can just say start from 2 and skipped it. So it will start from index 2 and print till end, right? So you can skip the second index as well. I print it, it will print from end, the second index 0, 1, 2, right? Till end. Okay.
So can using this method we can slash the dates also? I mean, just thinking about it.
There's no data type called date in Python. There is a different way of handling date. We will learn. Okay.
Can you take some example for negative index?
Yeah, we are coming to it. Yeah, let's do some negative one. I'll just So I will say give me from -1 to -4. Okay. So let's see what should be the output before seeing the output. So this is my string. Okay. And it starts from here -1 minus. So let's put it on Excel. So this BAN. Okay, so this is Bangalore, right? So this will be my -1. So let's see first normal index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So this is my index. And if I talk about negative indexing, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, -7, -8, -9. Okay, so it will be like this. So let's say I want from -1 to -4, right? So I will say print -1 to -4. Okay, so what will be printed? -1, -2, -3. The last one it skips, right? So only this will be printed, ORE, right? So let's print it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so if you see, why it is not printing anything?
-4 to -1.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have to give the starting index first and the ending index later. Okay, so -4 is this one, right? Until -1. So from -4, it is printing LOR. So our -4 is LOR, right? So last one it skips, so -1 is not coming. So it is coming -4, -3, -2. So -4, -3, -2 is coming. LOR is printing.
So this is not reversed, right?
No, this is not reverse. It is just a different way of giving index. Instead of giving the index in positive way, you are giving in negative, but it doesn't reverse the string.
Ankit, what if we need to have the last variable also? I mean, the last character.
You can just
Zero.
skip it and run this, right? So it is giving till end.
Okay.
Okay.
Ankit, just one quick question. Like, suppose if you want to print from last, index to few indexes, like -1 to 5 or something like that. So in that case, what should be the approach?
You are saying you want to print in reverse?
Yep.
Yeah. So we will have methods to reverse the string. We will learn about it. Okay. We can reverse the string and then print it. We'll see.
Ankit, if we put -1 and colon, will it do the reverse of the string? Just curious.
It is just giving me E. So it is starting from -1 till end.
So if you put brackets for everything, -1,
colon and -1, Ankit.
It's colon -1.
It's starting from starting, right? When I doesn't give first index, it will start from start.
Double colon.
-1.
Double
Okay,
colon.
we'll discuss all this. We'll discuss. We'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that. How to reverse the string? There are different ways of doing it. Okay, but for now, this is how it is. If you don't give the starting index, it will start from the start. If you don't give the ending index, it will print till end. And whatever index you give, it will start from there. And if you give any index at the end, it will just not print the last one, but the previous one till there, right? Any doubts in string slicing? Reverse and all, we will see how to do it. There are different ways of doing it.
What is the reason for
Yeah, Ankit, just a suggestion. I would say let's keep it simple because since it is making some confusion, right? When we are putting a lot of string, conversion or those kind of things. So maybe we, since as we will make the progress probably, then we can take. I mean, just a
Yeah,
suggestion.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's understand the basics, and later when you practice, you can try all these combinations. And if there are any doubts, we can discuss in the next session. But let's not go into too much permutation combination of things. Otherwise, you will get confused. Okay. So now this is how string slicing works. Now, one important thing about strings is strings are immutable. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you cannot change, you cannot change some value. So let's say if I want to change A to some other character G, right? I cannot do it. So basically, if I try this city one, right? My city one is A. Now I'm saying make city one as P, right? If I run this, so if you say string objects does not support item assignment, right? So strings are immutable. Once you create it, you cannot change the string, right? You cannot replace A with anything else. You cannot, so if Bangalore is there in the city variable, it is there. You cannot change the value of Bangalore. Either you can replace it. You can say city equal to, let's say Hyderabad, right? You can do this, but you cannot change a specific character of the string, right? That is not possible, and that's why strings are immutable. We will see some data structure like list and dictionaries which are mutable, right? We can change the value of it at particular index. So if I want to change the index value 1 to P, I can do in some other data types. But in strings, it is not possible. Strings are immutable. Okay. Now, as we know that city, everything is object, right? So city is an object of class string, right? So what does that mean? That means that a class can have multiple methods, right? So a class can have multiple methods. Similarly, for a string class also we have multiple methods. So for example, I will say city dot, so it will show you all the methods that can be applied to a string, right? Because city is a string. The moment you do dot, PyCharm shows you what all methods can be applied. Okay. So these are all the methods we can apply on a string. So for example, I will say upper. Okay. I will say city dot upper and I am going to print it. So what it will do, it will convert all the characters of a string to upper and print it. So if I say this, see in capital letters, Bangalore is printed. Okay. Now you tell me, if I print city again, what will happen?
It will be lowercase.
By default, Bangalore.
By default.
Case.
I
So
converted it
whatever
to
it
upper,
was,
right?
that was just temporary. You did not define it to a variable.
We have not stored it in any object. Strings are
Right.
immutable.
Right. Strings are immutable. So I cannot change again Bangalore to upper Bangalore. It is just converting it and printing it. If I going to print city again, it will just print the normal Bangalore only. See? Right? But what I can do, I can assign it to the city variable again. And if I print city now, so it has overwritten the city. So if I run now, it is coming Bangalore because I have converted it to upper and assigned to the city variable again. Right? And then I'm printing, so city has become already in the capital letter. So this is what you can do, but you cannot change the existing string. Also, we have other methods as well. So for example, we have lower, right? So if I do lower, it will convert into the lowercase. Okay. We have some more functions. For example, city equal to, so we have a starts with function, right? So if I do starts with, and I say, let's say, I give a string BA. Okay. And I'm going to run this now. So it says true. You see, so this is a new data type called Boolean data type. Boolean data type is of two. There can be two values, true
or false.
Or false. Right? So if you are, it is for comparison operator, right? You want to check something if this is equal to this, or if this starts with this, or any comparison operator you want to do, it will return true or false in Python. Okay. So that comparison operator, that condition can be true or false, and that is represented by true false, the Boolean data type in Python. Okay. So it can either be true or false.
So Ankit, if you write BA in uppercase, A and B, what will happen?
No, so it is case sensitive.
Okay.
So it says false.
Okay.
Okay. So this city dot start with returns a Boolean data type. So if I want to print type of city, what is the data type of city? It will be Boolean. Right? Class bool. It is a Boolean class. Right? So if you see here, city was of string class, and then I have overwritten it. So now it has become Boolean type.
Ankit, what is the use of that function start with?
So it's checking if the string, the city string is Bangalore, right? Is it starting with BA or not? If it is starting with BA, it will return true. If it is not, then it will return false.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Ankit, but you said strings are immutable, right? Then how they are getting overwritten?
So I'm overwriting the variable itself. I'm not changing the string, right? If I want to assign, instead of Bangalore, I want to assign on the second index some other value, I cannot do it.
Is it a good practice to override? Just wanted to ask.
No,
it is not a good practice. You should create a different variables for different thing.
you can cross verify by printing the ID of the variable. It will change if you assign a new value or if you assign the new value to it.
Yeah. So that is fine. I mean, you can change the data types of a variable.
And Ankit, if we don't know the case in the let's say variable, for example, right now we knew that B is capital and A and yours is small. You have mentioned. What if we did not know the case? Then how?
You can just
like a
print and
SQL
check, right? What is there? Print city and check. And actually, there is another function. So let me show it.
Like, can we do just like upper BA starts with upper BA so that it it checks with all the cases, or lower BA kind of thing?
So you can just convert it to the upper first and do it. So for example, you can say city equal to city dot upper.
Ankit, it's city.
Yeah. You can convert it to city dot upper, and then you can say print city dot starts with, and then you can give in capital letters, right? So it works.
Okay, so there is no way that we can, along with start with function, we can do upper like in the same.
No. So if I try to put here starts with and like BA and print city, this should work. It is working. You can give first function and then second function. So for upper will be done, and then after that it will check if it is B or not.
Okay.
Ankit, we have used two methods here, upper and now starts with. Is there any way where we can know that the method requires variable which can be suggested by IDE?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you say that again?
We have used two methods now. One is lower, upper, starts with.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So for starts with, we require a variable like BA or something like that. Okay. And for lower and upper, we don't require a variable. Is there any way that ID will suggest that whether we require a variable or not?
So when you type it, actually, it gives you like this. So for example, dot start weights, and it is saying that what should be the prefix, right? So if I just type upper, so it is not asking any variable, right? Just upper. Self is, it is saying to the city object. Self refers to the object on which we are applying it, and it is not expecting any other argument here, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we have, and if you want to check if the string is in upper or not, that for that also we have like is upper, right? It will check if it is upper or not, right? So what data type it will return? City will be of what type now?
Boolean.
It will be Boolean. Again, it will check, right? So it says false. It is not in upper, right? Because only B is capital, others are lowercase, right? So there are a lot of functions. I'm not going to explain all of the functions, but you can just explore it. You can go to, so everything is coming here. If you want to understand what is what, you can also go to Google and say Python string functions, right? And it will give you all the functions. You can just go through them, right? They have explained everything. Any website you can open. It is a open source, so there's a lot of community, and whatever doubts you are getting, you will get the answer definitely, right? So after today's session, what you have to do is explore all the functions, right? If any doubts, we can discuss. But there are lots of functions. You can just check it. Okay. Great. Okay, so this is how there are multiple methods we use it, and you can explore other methods. Okay, now how to concat a string. So for example, let's say I have city equal to Bangalore, right? And we have, let's say I have this, I live in Bangalore, right? This is my city, and this is my string, let's say str2, and I have another string str1, and I will say I am Ankit. Okay, so we have two strings, string 1 and string 2, right? Now I want to concatenate them, right? So let me time being commented.
str3 equal to.
Okay, so now what will happen is, let's say you want to print two strings, right? So what you can do, you can just say print, and you can say str1 plus str2, right? So you can use this plus sign. What it will do, it will put string 1 and concatenate string 2. So just using plus, you can concatenate the elements. So if I just run this, I'm Ankit, I live in Bangalore, right? Now I realize that we need to have a space to make a proper sentence. So what I can do plus and add one space, right? So str1, then add a space, then str2, right? You can put in double quotes or single quotes, anything is fine. And you can put as many strings you want. You can put one more. For example, plus this is Python course, right? So it will just concatenate one more string. Okay. If you want, you can assign this value to another variable. Right. So I will say str3 equal to this, and just print str3. Okay. Also, this is giving you some errors. A warning it is giving. It is saying missing parenthesis around operator. So this is not mandatory in Python, but PyCharm, just for best practices, it is saying that you should give a space in the operator, around the operator, before and after, but it is not a syntax error. In Python, it works like that. But for best practice, PyCharm will give you some warning. In some other ID, it might not give you warning, right? So now I created a new variable str3, which is str1, str2, and this is concatenation of all three, and we will get str3. So we have printed str3. Okay, again str3 is of class string. Okay. Now another thing is, let's say you have this variable, right? You have this variable here. Now there are multiple ways of concatenating. So for example, you are writing something. Let's example, my age is so let's write some print statements. Ankit lives in Bangalore. Okay. So what I'm doing now, I'm just printing these the lines. Okay. Now if I want to change the name, let's say I want to change it to Rahul. So one way is I give Rahul, change everywhere, right? And I change the age. Or what I can do, I can declare variables. So I can say name equal to Ankit and age equal to 35, right? And instead of giving hard coding the names, I can just pass this variable like we saw, right? So I will just say name plus, and I want a space, I can put a space here as well, right? Again here name plus double quotes. Okay, so this is name. So when you are giving a variable name, you don't have to put double quotes. If you put in a double quotes, it will be like a literal string. When I'm just giving a variable name, I just have to put name plus and then the string. Again name plus and the string, right? Again, if I do here plus age. Okay. Now let me comment it this for now because this will create some issue and I will run this.
We cannot concatenate into str, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm coming to it. Don't worry. That's why I commented it for now.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So Ankit lives in Bangalore. Ankit works for Amazon. Okay. So this is the one way of passing variables in the print statement, right? So whatever variables you want, plus you can give it. Another way is you can just do this. In the flower brackets, you pass name. Okay. And you tell this is a formatted string. Okay. Again, I'll just remove this. And I will say name. Okay. And I say this is a formatted string. Sorry. And run this. So this also works, right? So instead of doing plus, you can say this is a formatted string, and within the flower brackets, you can pass the variable.
Ankit, what is formatted string here? If that one.
So in the formatted string, you can pass the variables in the flower brackets. So whenever you give this in flower brackets, it will look for the variable and replace the value of that variable in your print statement.
So it is acting like plus.
Sorry? Yeah, it is acting not exactly. What it is doing is it is identifying that there are some variables in the flower brackets. It will just replace those values with the variable value. If you give name,
which is the best practice to follow?
Sorry?
Which is the best practice to follow using plus?
I think this looks cleaner, right? Instead of doing plus plus, it is again your preference, but I feel this looks more cleaner.
Can that name be taken as an input from the user in the console or anywhere?
Yes. Yeah. We'll come to it. We can take it. Okay.
Do we need to
now
there are multiple variables?
Yes, we can do it. We can do it. So let's do last name. Let's say Hansel. And I will just add here last underscore name. Right. And then this Ankit Bansal, right? If you want to have a space, you can maybe have a space here. And this is fine. You can give multiple variables. There's no limit on that.
Do we need to add that f as a formatted string over there?
Right. Right.
Okay. So that is mandatory.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this statement now, last one. What I'm saying is ages plus age, right? And if I run this, it is giving me error. Can only concatenate a string, not into string. So what we are trying to do, age is type what? Age is a integer type, right? If you remember here, age is 35. So if I check the type of age, it will be of integer class. Now, when I'm doing concatenation, Python cannot do concatenation of string and integer. Okay. So for what I need to do, I need to convert it into a string, and that can be used using str. I will say str age.
Or simply we can put a quotes over age also, right? Okay.
Yeah. So that is like creating a string only, right? Then it will become a string. Let's say my data type is integer. I don't want to change it, but I want to print it, right? So I have to convert it into str. Obviously, if you put it in the double quotes, it becomes a string then. There is no issue with this. But let's say it is integer. I'm using for some other purposes also, this age variable, and it has to be integer. Let's say I'm doing some calculation, right? I don't want to change its data type. But if I want to print it, then I have to convert it into a string and then print it. Okay, so now it is working. His age is 35.
Can we do this in formatted way?
Yeah, let's do it. So
I have the same question.
So formatted. Let's remove it. Let's do without formatting. I mean string conversion, and let's see if this works. Now it works here because we are not doing a concatenation, right? We are not doing plus. What is happening is we are just replacing the age variable to whatever its value. So it is not concatenation, right? Concatenation happens using plus operator. Here it is a replacement of a value, right? So age is of type what? Int, but still we are able to give it because we are replacing the value here of age. We are not doing concatenation. So it is just a placeholder, and the placeholder value is getting with 35. Okay, so this is another advantage of using formatted strings.
Yeah. So what will be the type of age now? Is it string or int?
Age we have not changed age, right? Age is 35 only. So the type of age will be integer only. We have not changed it.
Okay.
So Ankit, if we for print his age is flower bracket, if you mark that as variable and check the type, it will be string only, right?
Yeah.
Let's say for
No,
line item.
this one. No, this is not. So no. So this is not like that. This is just a placeholder, right? This is not a variable or something. We are just
No.
saying.
On line item, if you type b equal to in the very first line item 21, just type b equal to and then paste the print statement. Yeah, full print statement.
Okay.
Full print along with the print. And then if we check, if you type.
That is a print. It is not assigning. So let me do it. If I do this, and I will say print b. That's what you are saying, right?
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
So this print is not returning anything. Print is a function which just prints this, right? So we will discuss functions later, but print statement doesn't return anything. So when I do b equal to print, it is not returning anything, and it will just give you none. This you will understand when we are on module 2, where we will learn the functional programming. So print is a function and it doesn't return anything. So it doesn't work like that. Okay. Yeah.
And we will use only formatted ones, no matter how many flower brackets we use in the statement.
Yeah. There is no restriction that you can use 1 or 2, 10, 50, any number of variables you can put.
So Ankit, you are saying print can't be used as a value of a variable.
Yeah, print can't be used. Print is just to print on your console. That's it. Nothing more than that. It is printing on your console.
Ankit, one doubt. On the previous line that you have written that b equal to print, does it work? No, actually, what I want to ask you is b is a variable. Like after that, we are writing print statement, right? And print is a function. So does it really works?
It works. So function returns a value, or it might not return a value, right? Again, we are going to the functions module. We will learn, but a function can return a value and function cannot return a value. If it returns a value, then it will return the value to the variable we are assigning to. If it doesn't return the value, then it will return none.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Now, next thing is, as someone asked, can we take input from a user? So let's take it. So what I will do, I'll just comment everything for now, and I will say company equal to input, right? And I will say print this I work in, and then company variable. Okay. So when I run this, what will happen is it will prompt me to put some value, right? It will ask me to input some value, and once I input it, it will assign to the company variable, and then that company variable I can use anywhere. Okay. So let's
Why
run
you have
this.
not used formatted now?
Oh, no, I have to use formatted. It is by mistake. Wait. Formatted, and let's run this. Okay. So here, if you see, it is asking me to print anything. So let's say I give Amazon. So I work in Amazon, right? So it is taking input from user. Okay. It took input. I gave input as Amazon, and that goes into company. And then this becomes a variable company, and I can use it like I was using so far, right? Anywhere, right? In print statement, I can use it. Right. Now, one interesting thing is, let's say,
Ankit,
what you give,
that
what you give
an alphanumeric
data
here?
type. Sorry.
What else if you give an alphanumeric here instead of Amazon? If you give a 3M, how does that take?
Still
The
a string,
variable?
right?
3M.
Yeah,
It will take it.
it will take it, right? And
Yeah, there's
can you
no
try
issue.
that? It takes as a
Yeah,
string
we'll
only.
try. I just want to tell one more thing, right? So let's take age as well. So age equal to, and then input, right? And let me comment it. Let's run this. So you are saying 3M. I'm just giving randomly. Let's say 23. Okay. So I work in 3M and my age is 23. Right. Now let's do this. Let's do this using plus operator. Right. So what I'm going to do is, instead of formatted string, I'm going to use plus operator. Right. I'll show you why I'm doing it. I work in Amazon. It ends here. plus, and then I want to have company, right? Again plus, and my age is this, and then again plus, and then age, right? So I'm just replicating this here. So I work in, and then it will concatenate company, right? Whatever I take input, and my age is, and then it will concatenate age, right? Now tell me this will work or not.
It gives error, no?
No, it will not work.
Because
It
you
will
have to
work.
convert into string.
It
Age into
will
string.
work.
It will
It
work.
will work. Actually,
It can
input
work.
is input function is
Okay,
a string.
fine. Let's run this.
Amazon.
It is working. I'll tell you why. So when we take an input, it by default takes as a string. Okay. So it is giving like this, age equal to, in double quotes, 34. So when we take input from user, it is always of kind string. If I want to convert it into int, I can convert it. So what I can do,
Int of input.
yeah. So now it will convert it into integer, or let's do one thing. Let's print the type of age, right? And let's see what it gives. So it is saying string class. Okay. Right? So it is saying it is of class string, right? Let me comment some of the things. Okay. So if you see here, I'm printing the type age. So the type is of class string. So though I took just 34, but any input taken from user is always a string, right? If you want to convert it into integer, you can just do int age. Let me do this. Age equal to in age. Previously we converted our integer to string using str, right? Now what we are doing, we are converting string to int. So I'm saying age equal to int of age, and now again I'm going to print the type of age. Okay, and also this is going to fail. It is asking for input. Right? So if you see, it cannot concatenate. Okay.
But if we change it to format, then it will work.
Then
right?
it will work. Then it will work. Right? Then it will work.
So if it has to be in a proper manner, we have to mention the data type, right, Ankit?
Here?
No, age ka.
Yeah, age is by default a string. If you want to convert, you can convert it to integer. Yeah, or float also.
Age will only be string if it comes as an input variable, but if
from
not,
user.
From users.
Yeah, if it is coming from user, it is always a string. But if you are giving directly, then it will take it as an integer.
So Ankit, in production cases, what is the best way to write, or what is written, how it is written?
So generally, the Python programs you will make generally doesn't take input from user. But if you are taking from user, then definitely if you think you are taking an integer variable, then you have to convert it to integer and then use it further. Right? Okay, let's run the program now. So I have converted into int, right?
Ankit, we can write int
Let's
in
do using
single
this one. Sorry, go again.
Ankit, we can write int input bracket.
Here itself you're saying?
No, in the age equals to input, na? Before input, we can write int and then in bracket.
Okay, this is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, let's try out. Yeah, so it is converted into int. This is also fine. It will take input and then convert it into int. Anything is fine. Yeah.
But Ankit, you are using F interpolation, so anyway, it does not make any difference, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Here we are using formatting a string, but it's about converting into int. The important thing is we have to convert. If we want to convert something that we think it should be integer and I have to use it as integer, so I can convert it to int. That is the main point here. How you print it, that you can play with it. If it is integer, you can convert it to a string, even if you are using concatenation plus. So that is fine.
So Ankit, actually, we can also use input function inside print function.
So if you so the input value you give should assign to a variable, right?
Okay, yeah.
So once we assign it to a variable, then you can use it anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, you give input, then where it will assign? Python has to assign it somewhere.
Okay.
Ankit, will that last print work without normally without formatting now?
This one
Like
will
we
work, right?
converted that.
Because we are using the formatted string and it is not expecting that this should be a string. And it will
No,
work.
without
even if it is-
formatting, I'm asking because at 25 we converted it to integer, right?
Yeah, so this will not work. This doesn't work. This will give you error. Can only concatenate a string to a string, not int. So it is trying to concatenate a string with int. Age is int currently. Right?
Yeah.
Now, here I want to tell you one more very important thing. Right? So there are two kinds of languages. Okay, let me go over to the slide. And I'm saying Python is interpreted, not compiled. Right? What does that mean? So if you have worked in Java or C, C++, what you have to do is you have to write a program, right? Compile it, and then you can run it. So when you compile, it will check if everything is fine. If it is not, then it will throw you an error and you cannot run it. But in Python, it is not like this. Python is an interpreted language, right? It means it runs line by line. It will run first line, then second line. Maybe there are some issues in your third line or fourth line, that is fine, but it will run line by line. So it will run first line, second line, and if there is some issue on the third line, it will give you error. Okay, but it is not a compiled language which will compile whole program and then run it. Okay, so this is the difference between interpreted and compiled type languages. Okay, code runs line by line, unlike Java C, where you need to compile the full program before running it. So there is no concept of compiling it. It will just run line by line. First line, if it is fine, it will just run it. Second line, third line, and like that. Okay. Now, with the strings, you can do some more things as well. So, for example, I said that age print. Let me take out these inputs for now. And let's put age equal to 35. Okay. And let me use double quotes. Okay. So we are good for now. And again, it will give me error. Let me go back and use this one. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I'm going to do is I will say print company into 2. Now what do you guys expect? Will it give me error or will it run? What is going to happen when I say company into 2? Company is a
Company will
variable.
print it twice
And print 2 times.
Yeah,
Amazon
company
will
to
print twice
without any space.
They print 2 times.
Right. When you do into 2, it will print 2 times. If you do 3, it will print 3 times.
How, Ankit, like in SQL, if we multiply string into any numeric value, then it gives error.
Don't compare with SQL. Yeah, it's like this. So what it does, it replicates
So we have to
your
memorize it.
variable 3 times.
So we have to memorize it. We have to memorize it. Like this is how Python works.
Yeah, it is not memorizing. You start working, you will realize how it works. This is not about memorizing. This is just understanding how Python works. So when I do
But
into
this is
3,
not making sense.
it is making sense actually, right? So what is happening? It is printing your variable 3 times, right? You are doing into 3, so it is printing 3 times, right? If it is a, let's say, so this is how it works. If you see plus, right? So plus, if you use this integer, right, it will just plus them. So for example, if I do this, let me comment this one. If I do print 1 into 2 or 1 plus 2, what is happening? It will not give 12, it will give me 3, right? It is giving me 3. So this plus operator, into operators, how they work with integer and strings are different, right? With its strings, it is like a concatenation, right? But for numbers, it is an addition. For it strings, when you do into 3, it replicates your object 3 times. But if you use with integer, it will be multiply, right? So your operator, the behavioral operator differs when you work with integer or strings, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this you have to remember that the operator behavior changes with respect to the data type. So what data type you are using, it will change. Okay. So this is about that we can do a lot of things. Now one more thing is we have not seen is data type as float. So if I give decimal number equal to 12.1.
So I have a use case, Ankit. Let's suppose I am providing an input for your age, but I am defining my age explicitly as an integer. And if we print that particular thing, then what will be the answer? By default, if we are providing the age as an input, it will take as a string. Okay.
Right. Right.
And the other variable, I am defining it as age is equal to 35. Now,
Okay.
if we print those two things, like input coming from your input for your age and integer for my age, then what will it give me? And into 3 or something like that, or just addition, then what will it give me?
Yeah, so it will be a string. So basically what you are saying put it in a double quotes 32, right? Into 3, right? Essentially that's what you are saying.
No, plus 32. Let's suppose I want to add my age and your age.
That's fine.
Change
It will
32
first
to
of all giving me error. It will say that string and integer cannot be concatenated, right? That we have seen before. So either you convert this also to string or you convert into int and then do add.
But there could be a case scenario in production environment where we are taking input as an age for some people and like we are defining age for some people.
So you have to convert into int then.
Okay.
You have to convert it into int and then it will work. 35.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I was talking about the data type as float. So this will be 0. And if I say print type num, and it will give me float data type. If you see, it is saying class float. Okay. Now let's say I want to convert it into int. I will say int num, right? So it is saying it is converted into int, and if I just print it, it will just give me the 12, right? If I give 12.1, okay, it is giving me integer part of it. But if you try to convert, let's say my num is of string data type. Now this will work or not? What will happen now?
yeah, it will work.
Will it work?
First, we have to convert it to float and then to int.
Yes, Ankit.
It will not work because it will think that there is a loss of data, right? Because it is a string and you are trying to convert to int. So it will think there is a lot of data, but from float to int, it is possible. So if you want to convert it to int, you have to convert it to float first. Okay, so if I run this, it is fine, right? Once it is float, then you can convert it into int. Okay, now it is working, but you cannot convert a floating point number which is in decimal to directly integer.
So one question, how it reads, like from left to right or right to left? The
So it is
interpreter?
12.1.
No. The print, int, float, num.
So this is inner first, float, and then int.
Okay.
So this is your variable, right? Think about like this. So this is your variable, right? You are applying float function first. You are converting into float first, and whatever is the result of it, then you are applying integer to it. So it will convert into int.
Okay. So okay.
This is how you have to read.
Even then, the data will be lost, right?
Yeah, data will be lost, but float to integer is possible. So Python understand that this is a float number, and you want to see the integer part of it only. But if you are trying to convert from string to integer, then there is a problem.
Generally, upgrading is possible, downgrading is not possible. Like,
yeah, but it is not about downgrading, right? It is about int part of your this. You should not do downgrading. It is always possible in the SQL also. You can convert, if you are coming from SQL background, you can convert a string to integer, right? Downgrading is possible, but it is not, you should not do it because there will be loss of data. In this case, dot
So
one
in
decimal point is
so
gone.
in SQL it will not give an error. So let's suppose 12.1 is a string, and if we convert that in SQL, then it will give me 12.
You can try
If
it, I think.
Yeah, it will give me 12 in SQL, I think.
We can try it, but it might give you error there as well. We can try it later.
Okay.
Okay. But
just
here
one last
it
question.
will work like this only. You have to give, you have to convert it to float first and then integer. And if it is an integer number, then it is fine. You can directly do integer. It will not give you error.
Ankit, one last query. What if I just want to fetch the point one? So in that case, would I have to use the indexes?
So if it is a string, you can definitely use the index. So currently it is a string, right? So if I want to, let's say, it is a string currently, right? So if I want to print, let's say I want the last character, I can just say -1 and
so num of
it is giving me, sorry,
No.
my bad.
So Ankit, this class ends at 8:30, right? Something like that.
We are ending the class now.
Yeah, because it's already late. I'm in Canada, so.
Okay. Sorry about it. We were having some doubts. That's it. Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. So now if I do print num -1, because it is a string, right? Currently, because I'm giving single quotes, it is of string class. So you can do indexing, slicing, anything you can do.
Ankit, but still it has given us 12, right?
No, 1. I'm printing 2, right?
1. Yeah.
It is giving me 1. Okay, let me comment it. It is giving me 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ankit, what if it's not a string and we just want after decimal part of it? Like if we remove the quotes from none.
Yeah, so we will today we discuss string. We will discuss numbers. Tomorrow we will discuss how we can do all that.